So Mayor of Leominster, Dean Mazzarella, is serving his 29th year as mayor of the city of Leominster. He is a 1975 graduate of Leominster High School. Oh. Too much information. All right, give a hand up for the mayor of Leominster, Dean Mazzarella.
No, seriously, I think my mother wrote that. You know how you can never do anything wrong with your mother? Nothing. Like, people do like heinous crimes in the courtrooms here and they got all the cameras. Who's sitting out front with her pocketbook? Your mother. Isn't it true? So my mother wrote that. See, he understands. You get it. Anyway, good morning, and thank you for hosting this forum. I kind of think that Mayor Squire and I could probably sit down and listen to you, and you probably could tell us more about what's happening in the art community than anything. But art, certainly, I've been mayor for 32 years, so in the art community, it's been a big part of what we do here in Leominster. And I'm not going to bog down your day, but I'll leave you with a couple of things because I think you get it and the importance. Leominster Art Association was formed many, many, many years ago. And they got to the point where the people who were really the charge, the people that really led it, had passed away, and they tried to hand over the baton to a couple of other people, but it just didn't work. And it's because nobody wanted to do the work, the organization. There was 100 members at the Leominster Art Association. I'm not sure if anybody here was a member, but nobody wanted to do the bookkeeping and all of that. And I realized we were going to take it over. And then I realized if that happens, then it's on us. And that's not the art community. And we really wanted to, art has to be organic. And if it isn't, it doesn't work. I've seen it. This 32 years I've looked at this stuff. It just doesn't work. If it doesn't come from you and it doesn't come from from artists themselves, it's just a major missing ingredient. And we were missing a major ingredient, and that was people from the art community to sort of step up and do the technical part and keep it on. But we also realized that the world is changing. So to say, well, every Tuesday night we're going to host, the Art Association, we're going to have a new speaker or whatever, that just didn't work anymore. People work on Tuesday nights, the grandkids or the kids got to go somewhere. There's always something going on. It makes it very difficult. So we took a step back and we tried a couple of other things. Next month, we host a youth art show. It's organic. We invite any kid who lives in Leominster, regardless of where they go to school, and you get to bring their art to City Hall. It starts at 6 o'clock at night, and the fire department will eventually step in and say, that's it, no more people. Every square inch of that place will be filled. And the art is just amazing because the teachers allow the kids to just be as creative as they want. They don't have to draw within the lines. They can pretty much do what they want. And it's interesting because a couple of the kids are really good, and I started to buy artwork from them. And I'm just like the black market. I'm like, hey, kid, would you sell that piece of artwork? He's like, and one kid a couple of years ago realized, because I bought like 4 pieces from him, that he started a business in school selling artwork. And everybody would say to me, hey, where'd you get that? I said, that's a kid that that goes to high school. What's his name? How do I get reach out to him? He said, give me his information. The kid was making more money than he was working part-time at Market Basket with art, selling his art. And now he's on to college and everything else, but purely organic, purely organic. So now we do more pop-up events. And I think that's the thing, is getting into public space and getting in front of people at different venues where they are. So, I talked about Tuesday nights, and we invite all the artists in, but we never brought art to Pop Warner. We never brought it to, a street festival. We never brought it anywhere else. We just did it where we commonly do it. At the Art Association, then we had an art studio downtown, and that's where we did our art. And so that step back for us really said, we realize people's lives have changed, but that doesn't mean we can't promote art. And so we find venues and a lot of pop-up events. Like downtown, if you've seen our common now, we've done it all over, and it's perfect. We used to have like a 1 amp power. As soon as you plug something in, it blow all the fuses. It was just terrible. We had all these trip and fall situations where people come and fall. And now we can just do pop-up events. If you want to stop down, you plug in, you do your thing, and God bless you. Any time of the day. Just don't go past like 9 or 10 at night. People get a little, there's people that live downtown. But we found that that's really a better approach than what we were doing before. And when we have these other events, actually we draw more people. The Art Association would draw people in, family and friends, but it didn't get, we weren't outside, and people thought it was just like an only invitation kind of thing. So that's really what helps. The last thing I'll leave you with is, I think we've got to think more regional, and I'll leave you with this thought, because it's been a project that I've tried to get going. The North Central Massachusetts Chamber of Commerce has a wing of it that's tourism, and that's what runs JADA, they call it, and that's what runs the Johnny Appleseed Visitor Center, and that's the tourism arm of it. So we met several years ago, and I was trying to think of something that, Sam, how many cities and towns are part of North Central? Is it like 22 or something? Yeah, it's like 22. So I was trying to think, what can we do with all 22 cities and towns that we could do together? And so a lot of people show up at these meetings for their own personal interest, their own business, and they want to see how it ties into them. So I said, why don't we do like a fall art exhibit? Is there anybody in any town that doesn't have, a city or town that doesn't have artists in it? No, everybody does. So I said, let's do this whole thing where we start in September, people are out looking at the leaves, picking apples, but we all have a common, a hall, just an area where you can set up art anywhere. Why don't we just do that? We'll put a whole calendar together from September on, and it could be indoors or whatever, and everybody gets a chance to host, these 2 or 3 towns, this city, this city, art association. And we put a whole calendar together of all the cities and towns, in 22 cities and towns of this area. And we have a whole art, fall art. We put the calendar together and we promote that one calendar. So you go to Petersham or you go to Gardner or wherever you go, there's art, right? Can we all do that? I mean, is that pretty simple? Well, nobody liked my idea. It's just like, yeah, a motion to adjourn. And I'm like, motion to adjourn, nobody likes my idea. So I bring it up all the time. Those are the forums that you need to participate in. You need to have a voice, and you need to get yourselves together to get to places like that, to the Tourism Association, places like that, to come up with your art. Now, some people have displayed their art at the Johnny Appleseed Center. It's a great place, because people, especially in the fall, people come from all over the place. And you get a chance to, show and experience. But the other thing about art is, I think, is that there's no longer like 5 categories of art. There's just so much today. Everything is art. I mean, there's art on trains, right? I mean, some of that stuff's good. You go through and you see the trains and they're all spray painted, and go along the bridge abutment, it's all sprayed, and you're like, hey, that's good stuff. I'm like, can you find that guy? Because I think we can make some money. If I work together with this guy, right? I'm an entrepreneur. You and I can make some money. I'll give you 20% as long as I can make the other. No, I'm just kidding. So think that way. Think of the groups that you can get involved. My phone number is easy. It's 534-7500, and whoever sends out the email can send that out. And if you have ideas, it's really what it's about. It's just ideas. You want to do a pop-up idea. You have some kids that are really good at what they do, and you want to expose them and give them a chance to see things. A lot of times what I'll do at some of my meetings is I'll bring in a young artist, just like we saw, and let them either display their things or perform. And at one of the mayor's meetings that we had that I hosted, I brought in break dancers. So everybody's sitting there in their suits, everybody's got their fancy clothes on, and I had like 20 kids from every angle of the hall breakdancing, doing flips. This is how it starts off. We start with the music, boom, 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 boom. It starts, and it gets more. And all of a sudden, these kids come out and start doing like somersaults, backflips, and everybody's like, what's good? They're all half sleeping, drinking coffee, trying to wake up, It was the best thing. They all loved it. They're all like, this is great. It gave a chance for me to expose those kids to another. And then also socially, because later on, they're not always comfortable in a social situation, so they got a chance to talk to the mayors from all over the state. It was really good, and some of them got asked to participate in other events. So you understand where I'm going with this? So if you have ideas and thoughts, the mayor and I work together on things all the time. We have a bike trail that's coming in, together from Fitchburg to Leominster. It's already there. Think about you displaying your art someday, or if you know somebody that's an artist that wants to do. People love show and tell. I love to watch. See, I have no artistic ability. None. Zero. I thought trees were black when I was a kid, so I draw trees in school and they'd be black. I'm like, oh, I thought they were black. That was my artistic ability. That's it. But I appreciate and I love art. So to come along a bike trail and see somebody there that's, you know, Lionel was his name. Did anybody remember Lionel? He was my favorite. And Lionel was an art teacher at Fitchburg State, and he did tons of stuff. So he'd sit outside and do a painting of, and I loved his artwork. In fact, Ron Anson thought it was the greatest thing in the world, but it was a certain style, like a Caribbean style, would you say? And he did City Hall, he did myself, he did a bunch of stuff. But the true joy came in having an experience to come and actually watch Lionel and sit with him and talk to him. His art was beautiful, I loved it, but he was even better. And you understand the tie-in to all this, right? It's not just the art, it's the experience, the interaction, the story that you tell, the story that I exchange, and the story I tell you about somebody else, right? Is that not, and that's me. That's where I am in arts. That's where my leadership is in the arts. So if there's any way that I can help you, let me know, okay? Thank you.